So, let's talk about GH, or General Hospital. Last couple episodes, not including today's episode, but yesterday's episode, and just in general. So, let's start off with, I don't even know who to start off with, but so Sonny goes and he visits this guy called, I don't even remember what he's called, but he tries to talk to him in prison because pretty much Sonny's angle is he doesn't move drugs and he doesn't move guns to his territory. But this new guy is like, yo, listen. And granted, this has been going on for a while that people have been trying to come at Sonny because, you know, he doesn't do those things. And you're kind of fucking up a lot of other people's business. So this new guy is pretty much coming in and being like, listen, hey, let's negotiate. You let me move your product through. I give you 10% of everything I do. And we can just keep it nice and peasy. Sonny's just like, nope, that's not going to work out. Now, when I was listening to him pretty much say no to this guy, at first I was like, bro, they just came at this guy just came at your family in one coordinated attack. And granted, the only person that actually got shot was, well, Laura and the other guy. So I'm like, maybe you can kind of just, you know, bend a little bit and just kind of take this guy's offer. But then I was like, listen, here's the thing. If you agree to this guy's terms, if you let this guy get his way, what's to sit there and say that the next person won't do the same thing? So, you know, the whole saying, stand for something, fall for anything kind of scenario. So I get where Sonny's coming from and how even Laura's like, because Laura and Kevin were sitting there talking, and Kevin was like, you know, what is Sonny gonna do? Like, you think, I mean, pretty much what he was sitting there saying was like, this is kind of Sonny's fault and he's gonna initiate stuff. And Laura known this guy for a while. Laura's like, listen, here's the thing, Sonny will at all costs try to like avoid violence, but this guy, you know, it seemed like he's gonna push Sonny's hand, and so it's gonna be a fucking mob war, pretty much. Now, I find it kind of interesting because, you know, Laura's the mayor of the city, but she's also Sonny's closest friend. So it's like that whole, like, you know, on one hand, you want to sit there and try to help Sonny out or whatever and be there for Sonny. On the other hand, it's like, listen, I gotta set an example, otherwise I'm gonna look bad. So it's going to be really interesting moving forward to see how she's going to handle this whole, you know, this whole dynamic. Let's talk about Nicholas for a minute. So here's the thing. I get where Spencer's coming from, and I'm not going to lie, the way they wrote this whole, you know, Nicholas is coming back to try to get revenge on, you know, Valentine and get back was his and everything like that. It just, here's the thing, and I've talked to somebody else in my job about this, one of my customers, and no matter which way you go about it, you know, here's the thing, every time he tries to explain it to one of his family members, it just comes across as him being a dick, like an unsympathetic dick that chose money over his family. Chose money and status over his family. Hell, his own son was like, listen, at the end of the day, I wouldn't even care about the money. I just want to have you in my life. I would have rather a dad, pretty much he's sniffed this out, I would have rather a dad that's poor than a rich one that's just a self-centered asshole. So his whole apology tour, the way they wrote it, just, no matter how many different ways he tries to explain to each person, it just comes across as the same thing. But here's the thing. Here's the thing with Lulu. She's sitting there acting like she's never made a mistake in her whole life. One sec. Sorry about that. So Lulu's not there acting, here's the thing. I get that she's upset with her brother because, this whole issue. But she's making it feel, she's making it seem like she's never made a mistake in her life. Like, she's been totally fucking... Here's the thing. It's not that long ago that she's had a blowout with Maxie over a decision that she made. And she's sitting there, like, giving him hell and shit for the shit that he's done. And I'm not sitting there saying, like... I'm not saying that Nicholas doesn't deserve, her being upset. But at some point, it's just like, alright, this shit is getting it's starting to get a little kind of old. I get what he did wasn't right. But here's the thing. The whole, I can't even remember his name because it's been so fucking long. But the whole thing with Maxie and Jay, running that story and having Faison come in and, her decision to do that, in Maxie's eyes was more important than Jay's life. So, she spent a long time trying to get Maxie to forgive her. And now she's sitting there giving Nicholas hell, because of what he did. I'm like, listen, at the end of the day, everyone makes mistakes. Everyone, big or small, everyone makes mistakes. But at some point, you're either going to forgive or you got to let that shit go. Hell, even Lulu said that to Maxie. Like, there was, the last part where she was arguing with her, she was like, listen, if we don't work this shit out today, if you don't forgive me today, then we're done. I'm good. I'm not going to sit there and keep kissing your ass. And I feel like at some point, Nicholas needs to sit there and be like, listen, I get it. I make mistakes. You make mistakes. But this shit is either going to, and it's so annoying. Even when Laura's like, oh, you're going to have to give your sister some time. Well, how much time? How much time are you going to sit there and give a person before you're just like, you know what? Because there's a fine line between wanting forgiveness and kissing someone's ass. And, her blaming, even her blaming, when Laura was not there, mentioning the whole, oh, well, Charlotte jumped in the water because she thought that you was going to save him. She thought you was going to save her. I'm sorry, Lulu, what were you doing at the time? Which is one of the whole fucking reason why Valentine isn't there fighting for sole custody. Because you weren't there when she jumped into the ocean. Just like you weren't paying attention when she got kidnapped by Cassandra in the first place. So when she comes across on this fucking high horse, it's just like, let's not sit there and try to act like you didn't make mistakes either. Oh. So, Jax and Nina. The hell are you doing, Jax? What are you doing? You can do so much better than Nina. Especially this version. Let's just be clear. I don't think that she's that pretty. I don't think that she's that beautiful. And to be honest, she just sounds annoying. And she sounds like a lot of times she comes across as this whiny diva kind of character. And it's like, really? Especially out of all the girls that he's had in his life. He had Brenda Barrett. He had Carly. He had Courtney. I think at one point he might have actually had Liz. I don't remember. But come on, seriously? You go from Nina, you go from Carly, Courtney, Sam, Brenda, to Nina? Like, really? Don't you think that you're just like, is he just lowering his standards? Like, I don't really understand. I know he always sits there and tries to give Nina these compliments, talking about she's creative and she's a woman of passion, this, that, and the third. I'm like, yo, listen, that actress and that character was the last woman on fucking earth. I would not go out with her. In any version. That means going out with her, having sex with her, whatever. There's no version where I would actually be with that woman. So I'm just like, what the hell are you doing? Um, Gladys is annoying. Gladys is annoying. And, here's the thing. She said some shit that was just very fucking callous. So, she got upset with her son Brando because he enlisted into the military. And he came back and he was different. And, they had their fights and their arguments and stuff like that. And she practically was just like, well, you can go, you can get the hell out of here. Practically just was like, I didn't want anything to do with him. And even Carly was like, well, damn. Like, she's had her problems with her kids, but she will fight tooth and fucking nail for her children. So she looked at her like, yo, are you serious? Especially since she was like, listen, he had a problem, like he came back from, he had PTSD, he came back from the military, like that stuff is common. Like, what the hell are you doing? You should have been there to help. And then she was just like, so you practically told a lot of people that your son died in the war. And you don't think that that's wrong? And the way she said it, like, yeah, I know that's wrong, but, like so callously, I was just like, wow. I mean, I felt some sort of way. I'm not gonna lie. I felt some sort of way. And this is coming from a person who has family in the military. For her to just, I know it's fantasy and everything like that, but to be so callous about that, like, yeah, I know I lied about, having a dead son, a dead veteran son or whatever. But, and I'm like, maybe it was just me, but that shit just kind of just, I felt some sort of way about it. I didn't like it, to be honest. One sec. Of course. Sorry about that. I feel like I was on a train of thought, and I actually kind of lost that. Other than that, I felt some sort of way about that scene. So, I don't know how this whole Gladys thing is going to turn out. It is going to be kind of interesting because now Brando is back and, they're lying to him. They're saying that he has a son. So, this whole deportation with Dev is going to be, or this whole situation with Dev is going to be pretty interesting. Today's episode, it was something that kind of annoyed me a little bit. I felt like Lulu was like fussing over nothing because she was all like, oh, well, Dustin likes to jump into danger, and I don't think I'm ready to sit there and be with another hero at the Dante. I was like, and even her own mother was like, Dante was a cop. This guy's a teacher. They have nothing, it's like, it's completely two totally different fucking things. So I feel like that scene was kind of just filler. Brooklyn doesn't know how to keep her cool. What else is new? But towards the end of the episode, so now you got Martin Gray working with this, the sleazy lawyer. I mean, the sleazy music manager. That's also working with Nell. That's also working with Valentine. So I'm pretty interested to see how this whole thing is going to go down. And and one last thing, and I'll tell you the truth, and this is where I didn't even like mention it. So Anna and Finn got into an argument because, Finn thinks that Peter is pretty sketchy, and he's all like, well, now that I have a daughter, I don't know if I want to be associated with you and your son. But, and this is just my fucking theory, they can't find anyone else to pair those two with. So, he comes back and he's all like, oh, well, I don't want to be the guy that runs out on, when things turn tough. It was like, no, it's just because no one else is actually available, really. But whatever. We'll go with your theory, sure. The sad thing is that I never really found those two particularly interesting. Don't get me wrong, I love Michael Easton as an actor. And I think that he's great when he's with other people. But I'm not a fan of Anna, so this whole Anna and Finn thing is like, whatever. I can take him or leave him, to be honest. Yeah, I can take him or leave him. And that's sort of the same thing with Franco and Liz. And don't get me wrong, I love, well, Franco, the actor who plays Franco, and Liz is pretty cool. But sometimes I feel like they're just kind of just filler, to be honest. You know, they're there for a little bit, and honestly, to tell you the truth, I actually kind of forgot about them now that I think about it. Like, and that's mostly due to the fact that the main stories usually revolve around Sonny and Jason and the Corintoses. Oh, and one last thing. I know I keep saying one last thing. I gotta stop that. So, I don't know why Jordan is actually sitting there lying to her husband about, Taggart and like, oh, this is the first time that we met up and stuff like that. And Curtis just sitting there like, really? Really? You just gonna sit there and just fucking lie straight to my... Okay, alright, cool. I don't understand why she's... Oh, okay, yeah, now I remember why. But it's just... I don't know. I honestly, tell you the truth, I felt like she should have just told him the truth. I get, the whole taking stuff to your grave and everything like that for what he did. And maybe in her fucking mindset that she, she says what she did all those years ago, that Curtis is going to look at her differently. But honestly, tell you the truth, at the end of the day, you're married to this guy. You share the good and the bad no matter what. Point blank, period. So, in the end, I really don't understand why she's lying for it. The sad thing is I don't even really like her as... I don't like her actress. I don't really care. So, honestly, to tell you the truth, Jordan was actually pretty cool. She was actually a pretty decent character, and now we have this one that's just bringing her character down. So, all in all, I think this episode is pretty interesting. I'm waiting to see how this whole thing's going to turn out. And honestly, to tell you the truth, I think we're going to finally get to this whole conclusion of Michael is going to finally get to be with his actual son, finding about his son. And great, this shit been going on for about 1.5 years, so holy shit. They need to wrap this shit up. Anyway, that's just my thoughts.